There we go. All right. I trust you can share or you can see my screen.
Yep.
Excellent. So it's my pleasure to give the closeout talk here on behalf of the organizers. And let me give a tremendous thanks to all the presentators, all the presenters who showed their wonderful insights on LISA science. And it was especially exciting to see these young people showing their work in this lightning round we just finished. So there's a lot happening in Canada on LISA, and it's very exciting to see. A little bit of history, which is, as far as I am aware, the first idea of organizing a workshop to explore Canadian participation in LISA was an idea that Jess McIver and I threw around in the hallway back in February 2020 with the idea, hey, maybe we could have a workshop maybe May or something. And, well, the timing could not have been worse, unfortunately. And for reasons that I think you can understand, this idea was just sort of shelved for a while we dealt with the change in the world here. But eventually we got our feet under ourselves again and made the realization that actually there were a surprising number of people in Canada already working on LISA or interested in LISA, and many of these people didn't even know about each other and weren't talking. And this led to the LISA Canada 2021 workshop, which Jess mentioned during the intro. And that had a very broad overview of many parts of the mission and activities inside the consortium. And once again, I've got the link here if you want to see the slides. And the YouTube videos are available. They're a little hard to find directly, but you can follow the links off these slides and get just sort of a broad overview of all the great things that are happening within LISA. And one of the goals of this was to let new people who weren't previously involved or knowledgeable about LISA see what's going on and see if there are places they might be able to fit in. And I think that's been successful. But there's been a lot of developments just in those 16 months since the first workshop here. And Domenico highlighted one very important and surprising development in his talk, which was in something almost unprecedented, I think, in a space mission, which is the schedule moved earlier rather than later. And I think most of us were under the assumptions that schedules only move in one direction. That wasn't it. But due to situations at ESA, particularly what's happening with the Athena project, they decided they wanted to move faster on LISA. And this is certainly fantastic news for LISA itself. It puts it at the head of the line within ESA to go ahead, but also creates a quite aggressive schedule. And another development that came out of the woodwork, partly in response to the LISA Canada workshop last year, was this proposal coming from the Swiss groups to collaborate on a hardware contribution, particularly the front-end electronics for the gravitational reference sensors. And we heard Domenico give us quite a bit of detail about this yesterday. This culminated in a presentation, or actually a series of presentations at this workshop that was held by the CSA earlier this summer, the Canadian Space Exploration Workshop 2022. And there, the space astronomy sessions were organized into 4 topical teams involving cosmology, extragalactic astronomy, high energy astrophysics, and planetary physics. And although I would say the LISA presentations were almost entirely confined to the high energy astrophysics session, what was really striking is that the 3 of the 4 topical teams all came back and said, LISA is ought to be a high priority for Canada. And particularly we have this very explicit and not that expensive proposal from our friends in Switzerland about how there could be a Canadian hardware contribution involving Canadian industry. So there's an opportunity here, but it's admittedly also a very challengingly short time window in which this has to come together, particularly with the aggressive advancement of the LISA schedule at ESA. So With that said, there are a lot of different ways that we can contribute in Canada, besides what we hope will be a hardware contribution if the arrangements and funding can be arranged. We've seen a lot this couple of days about the many parts of theory, multi-messenger astronomy, traditional astronomy, and how this ties in very neatly to large parts of the Canadian program. So let me invite you to get involved. If you haven't already done so, first of all, we have a little survey shown with this first link here, where you can just sort of register, hey, I'm interested in being involved, and that more or less just captures your name. Certainly, we, the conference or the workshop organizers, would love to hear from you if you're interested in helping organize future workshops. This could become an annual event, particularly if this possibility of contributing to this hardware interests you. If space qualified electronics is your thing, please get us in contact with us as soon as possible. I mean, there are continuing discussions happening in the background about the details of this, and this will determine whether this is actually practical or not. And joining the LISA consortium itself is not so difficult to do, and I've given a link here, which gives you more details on that. I'll just give a quick plug for an upcoming workshop that may interest you. This is one focusing particularly on data analysis, including machine learning methods. And I think this is a hybrid workshop, if I remember correctly, but you can follow the link here and get more details if that is of interest. And with that, let me thank you once again and close out the workshop. Okay, I guess I am sharing myself here, so I'm not checking the chat window. You see Jess has put in some great links. Okay, well, with that, thanks. Please feel free to reach out to us, contact us through the Slack channel, or just find our emails online. And thank you so much, and I hope we will see you at a future LISA Canada workshop. Bye, everyone.